Everybody has gone west, so to speak, in the United States. And when you go west, as far as you can go is California. And then after that, you're into the ocean. The multiculturalism of California is another wonderful aspect of it. You have many creatives coming from not only all over the United States, but all over the world to find their little slice of heaven in California and make their dreams come true. And certainly Niki Nakayama is one of those people who's made her dreams come true with her incredible Michelin restaurant in Los Angeles.
I would definitely describe myself as less of a purist and more of an innovator, I hope. I push the boundaries in the kitchen by not having limits for myself. I always allow myself more space to try different things and not being tied to anything specific. When we create dishes in the kitchen, a lot of times I feel that being creative requires inspiration, and inspiration comes through so many things, not necessarily just in the kitchen.
Anyone is inspired by where they live. Dealing in design and architecture has always been about surrounding yourselves with the things that make you feel better about the journey. And certainly the Doolittles, when they were building this house, were trying to create a home where Bev Doolittle, an artist herself, could feel inspired to work every day and create the kind of art that she painted, which focused quite a bit on Native Americanism and the Great Southwest.
Walking into the Doolittle House, it's already inspiring in terms of the varying degrees of movement that are within the home. Visually, when we're stimulated in these different ways, it really helps us in terms of how we can plate and arrange things. We always think about how to bring life into something, how to bring life back to these ingredients visually, and when people taste it, that they can taste that this is something that was cared for.
You may wonder why Chef Niki has chosen to cook a whole roasted snapper in the middle of the desert. The incongruity has not escaped me, but again, it's all about the harmoniousness with the house, the space, as well as the design. If we go back a millennia, I'm sure that all of this area was probably submerged underwater. And for sure, it's one of the reasons why Kendrick Bangs Kellogg has chosen to infuse this house with so many references towards trilobites and seashells and sea urchins. All of those elements are at one with the site. And for an architect like Kendrick Bangs Kellogg, the site is everything.
During my 3 years in Japan, I traveled a bit, but I also spent a lot of time working at a traditional Japanese Kaiseki restaurant. And the one thing that I learned what Japanese people value is tradition and honoring tradition and taking care of ingredients and also being very thoughtful and also doing our best to showcase ingredients and being mindful of the things that we're using.
Like most homes, the kitchen is the central point here at the Doolittle House. What's unique about this kitchen is how Kellogg has literally incorporated extant rocks that were in the landscape and built around those rocks. He didn't clear this site and make it fit this home. He built this home to encompass this site, and that's not any more evident than right here in the kitchen, where you can literally see the rocks that surround this space.
What we create should have a timeless feel to it, but the little touches that surround it should allow you to know that when it was made. While we utilize all these techniques for our menu, we also like to introduce new techniques that also are ways of enhancing the idea and the philosophy of what kaiseki is, which is, are we really showcasing an ingredient at its best and doing the best that we can to bring it up and make it shine. And sometimes those techniques that we have for traditional Japanese cooking can be enhanced with additional styles that we are learning today in our modern kitchens.
And in all creative realms, the question remains, does form follow function? We see it in the kitchen, in architecture and space, and also in a Gaggenau kitchen. All Gaggenau products, whether from 20 years ago or from today, are crafted in a way that marries design and functionality, which is not an easy thing to do. And to an extent, all creatives must try and balance these two elements. Chefs, artists, and designers all have to ponder and to digest this question. Can you sacrifice your creativity and ideal for functionality? When an artist is able to merge and fuse these two concepts together harmoniously, well, that's when you get something really special and really beautiful.
I think with anything that revolves around product, quality, design, architecture, all those things matter. I think whether it's cooking equipment, whether it's dishes we create, a piece of art, I think all those things taken into consideration really make a product that much more interesting and that much more sustainable. In terms of having the right tools and the right kind of equipment for better service and better cooking, it does make a very big difference in that when we're using equipment that we know that we can rely on, it takes away a level of worry and uncertainty that just allows us to focus on what we're doing that is most important, which is to just serve our guests the best way that we can. People need to move forward and have innovation, but yet hold on to what is good at the core. Like the core shouldn't change, but the things that decorate and surround it should move with time.